Hey gamers, today we're going to look at Goa. Let's check it out. To set up the game, you're going to take all the tiles, shuffle them up, put them all across the board. There'll be two that you won't use in any game. You'll do the same thing, shuffle up B, but you'll save that for the second half of the game. You'll put your ducats here, your colonies here, your extra action cards there, your colonist and ship cards here, and then your little bonus cards here with the discard pile being here. This is all shown pre-printed on the board. The first player will get this little marker here. They start off with this board. It's kind of empty, but it has their markers 1 through 5. If you're playing a 3 or 2 player game, you're going to lower those, take away some. But if you're playing a 4 player game, you have all of them on there. First player starts with 7 ducats. Everyone else starts with 10 ducats. You also start with 2 colonists and 4 ships. You have these gray cubes that are on each one of the areas here on your player board. And then you are ready to start. Now, how this game goes is the first player will mark this one here anywhere on the board they want. So let's say I want to put it here. I'm going to put my number 1 on it, and then it'll go to yellow. Yellow will put their number 2, and they have to decide which one of these 3 they want to bid on next. So they say this one, and then 3 says, any one of these, I'll say that one. And then 4 goes, ooh, any one of these, I'll say that one. And then now it's time for red to do one more, and they got any of these open, they'll say, how about that one? All right, and then starting in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're going to bid for these. Now this is to be first player and get a bonus action. Every round, everyone gets 3 actions per round. However, if you have the first player marker, you also get a bonus action, which could come in handy. So the red player says, I'm bidding 0. That's usually how it starts. And then it goes around the room. And the bidding is different here because let's say yellow says $3. He says, I'm out, and he says $4. Well, now red has the last bid. No one else can bid after this. He said he can either take the $4 because it's his auction. He can take the $4 from green or say, nope, I'm going to pay 5, and that's it. No more bidding. And then the same thing happens to 2. 2 starts with 0, and then we go around the board. And if he says 1, he says 2, he says 3, and he says 4. You know, if he says it with it, if you win your own auction, you don't get the money. It just goes back into the bank. But you keep doing until you do all 4 or 5 auctions, depending on how many players there are. Remember, it'll always be 1+ auction per players. And then you're done. Now, these cards are very simple here. They'll either give you a certain type of good, a spice, which you'll grab over here in the spices over the side, or it may be an instant card which says, hey, take one of each. Take a ship, a colonist, and an action card. You can use that action card this round. In fact, there may be other options to get extra. Here's one, you get 2 action cards in a round. And action cards can be saved. You can only carry 1 over for each round. So if you have extra actions, you need to use those actions on that round, but you can only hold on to 1 for next round. Now, you can't just keep hoarding all the action spots and having one big giant turn at the end. Anyway, some of these orange ones will tell you, hey, every round, each round, you'll take a colonist, or take a ship card, or take 4 ducats, or take a spice of your choice. This one here is a contract, and it says, hey, once you get rid of 6 of any spice, flip this over, and it's worth 4 points at the end of the game. Some of these spices are just 1s here, but they also count for 1 victory point at the end of the game. There are some cards in B, but like I said, the rule book basically gives you examples of what all those cards mean and all the cards says. It's very simple. So after the auction's done, everyone's paid their money, and then you get 3 actions. Starting with the first player and going around, they get to take those actions. Your actions are very simple. You can upgrade one of the spaces on your board. And if you see, it costs a certain spice or spices the more you go further on it. And each one of those spice must be shipped out with a ship card. So for instance, to upgrade this, I would need 1 thing of ginger and a ship card. And so one of my actions could be to upgrade this and move on. Now, other actions that you can take besides upgrading is you can take any of the actions across the board here. So I just upgraded this. What does this mean? Why? If I take the ship action, I get as many ship cards as are shown here. So right now I just upgraded, and now this time for my second action, I'll get 2 ship cards. Now everyone takes their first action, and then second action, and then third action. And then anyone can play bonus actions after that. But anyway, that's the ship action. The spice action is very simple. Depending on where you are on this chart, you'll get 1 to 8 spices, any spice you want. So you can pick the spices. Usually they're spices that you want to help you upgrade your player board. And I should mention that on the player board, there's these, if you get to the 6 or 7 at any of these spots here, these are victory points at the end of the game. How much you'll get determines on how far down you are on each one of the tracks. But you also get some of these action cards, which can be used as bonuses. And what they are here is you can either take the top bonus, which is different. You can cash this in at any time, and your hand size is on this one here, but I'll talk more about that later. But anyway, that spice, this is money, so when you take this action, you can take the action 3 times on a turn and end up with 12 coin in this case. Or if I upgrade it, I could have more coin. Now this is the one I was talking about with the action cards. Right now it says how many you can get, which is 1, 1, 2, 2, and 3 at the bottom, and then how many you can hold in your hand overall. And so I can take one and I only get one in my hand. So I take this one. Now I have 2 options. Anytime I want to, I can play this and grab 2 colonist cards. Or I can save it to the end of the game, and as many matching symbols as I have, that will give me victory points at the end of the game. And the rule book will let you know how much a match can be. But anyway, so you hold it onto it. Now remember, what if I did this action again? Well, then I get a second card, and now I have 2 options here. I need to play one of these immediately because my hand is still at 1. If I was down here, I could have held both of them, but I can't. So I need to see which one do I want. Ooh, the 1 spice, 1 colonist, and 1 ship. I'll cash in this one. You know, or maybe I had 2. Maybe I'm saving up conch shells or whatever as ones. I don't know, but I'd have to have 2 if that was the case. Either way, you must play it then, or just lose it or discard if you don't want to play it. So either way, it goes over here. So that's what these cards are for. Now, the last action is here on the colony. You can build your actions up here, and on this case, as you're upgrading this board, each time you're getting a bonus action. There's an emblem of the action card here. So you're getting a bonus action every time you upgrade, which is really nice. Now, when you want to take this action, this is actually building a colony. Colonies over here, as you see, called 6, 8, 10, and 12 colonists. How you build a colony is very simple. What you're going to do is announce that, hey, for my action, I'm building a colony. I'm already at a 3. Let's say I'm trying to get to this 8 here. Well, now I pull 2 cards off the top, and I look at the bottom right-hand corners here. I'm not using these for top. I'm not using them for set collection. In fact, I can't even keep these at the end of the round because I'm using this to furnish a colony. So now I have 2 more points there. That was a terrible draw, by the way, so that's 5. And I only have 2 extra, that's 6, 7, so I failed. Now, if I succeeded, then I would take that tile off there and put it on my board and grab a spice. Some of these are either or. You can just dig through the whole pile and dig and you get either or of these spices here. But when it gets to this colony, the 2nd and 4th colony, it's 1 of any spice or 2 of any spice. On this one, you could probably dig through there and find 2 of any of these that you want. You pick your matching 1 there. But on the other 2, you just get any spice you want. Either way though, what happens if I fail? Well, if I fail, I just get an extra colonist card and the game moves on. And these colonist cards, of course, come in sets of 3, and so as do ships. But anyway, I discard these because I failed to do it, and then I can try another time. But that's how building a colonist is. So those are your actions. Upgrading your board, getting ships, spice, coin, the action cards, or basically building a colony. Now, at the end of the game, however many colonies you build also equal in-game victory points, and the rule book will let you know. And so at the end of the round, after everyone's finished off taking their actions, then it goes and stays to the first player. Will they go again? We've removed all these tiles, by the way. So let's say we removed all these tiles, and first player's red again, so they'd go again. Maybe they go on this side of the board and they pick, and then the round goes through again where 2nd player does that, 3rd player does that, 4th player does that, and red player says, you know what, I want to go back over here. And then the bidding goes. You do this for 4 rounds on A, then clear the rest of the tiles, give out the B tiles, do it 4 rounds on B, and at the end of the game, whoever has the most victory points, you're adding up the victory points from the side here, collections from any in-game cards that you had here that you saved up, or how many colonies you had. Remember to add up any of these extra points that you got either on missions there or on these little things that give you 1 coin. Not coins, victory points. And one other thing, whoever has the most money left over will also get 3 victory points. And whoever has the most victory points wins. Final thoughts, what do I think about the game? Woo! Top 100. When I brought my nephew and his friends over, we played the game and we were playing it wrong. We thought, I read it wrong. I thought upgrades were free. I thought colonies were free, I think. I can't remember what it was, but we were playing something wrong, and we realized that about halfway through the game. We're like, wait a minute. But we were all loving the game. So I told the guys, I said, guys, you want to just start over again? And they're like, yeah, because they all love the game. And we played it a second time, and we enjoyed it even more. When you play it correctly, or even incorrectly, you can still enjoy this game. Such a fun game, so much strategy. Where do you bid? getting those action cards. What can you upgrade? You know, you're constantly, and there's always something to do. So you always feel like you're getting enough done, but getting those extra bonus cards, those extra actions means so much too. So the game is super fun. And even getting the small spice cards and the small victory point, there's certain cards on B deck that give you 2 or 3 points. And you're thinking, that's not much. We all ignored those points. Who needs them? Well, of course, someone lost by 2 points. So those little points do matter. Every tile in there matters. Those orange cards, woo! You want to fight for those. Sometimes you just raise the bid because you just want to get, you know, you hope the bid goes high because then you can get that money. You know, sometimes you really want the card, but you really need the money for another one. I love that about the game. I love the auction there. That only goes around once. So you bid what you want. If you really want it, you better bid high because if someone outbids you, then that's it. And it's always a game of guessing. Boy, this is great. This is an older game. It deserves a reprint, a little expensive to get, but well worth it. Wow, what a great game. Honestly, top 100. I can tell you that right now. All right, gamers, that's it for now. Until next time, game on!